I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite resources for making cheese, learning how to make cheese, and then once you know how to make cheese, they're just what I use all the time. And the 3 of them are the Cheesemakers Manual by Margaret Peters Morris, along with her DVD. I would get both of those, even though they're pretty expensive. They're worth it. Also get the Cheesemaking at Home Manual. This is a private publication put out by Homestead Heritage, and you'll have to call their number and ask them to send you a copy. But I love this. The recipes are very, very simple. Also, they have a cheesemaking course that you can go to that's amazing, totally worth your time. The 3rd book that I recommend is this one called Mastering Artisan Cheeses. I wish this book was around when I started. It is awesome. If you're going to buy one book of all these books for cheesemaking, I would say this is it, because it gives you the explanation as to, why you're doing what you're doing. And you're going to be questioning that when you make some of these long cheese recipes. And this one's put out by Miss Cadwell. Alright, now these other cheese books I would say are optional, and they'll help you learn more about cheese and help you become more of an advanced cheesemaker. But if you only want to invest in the minimum products, I would say it's these books. Alright, so these are all, I guess I would call them optional, but I do really enjoy this book by Mary Carlin. Here's another one, Mastering Cheese by Max McCalman. But this one is actually more for people that like to go to restaurants and buy fancy cheeses. And it's from the perspective of what do they call those? A cheese maitre d', kind of like an expert in cheese pairing and stuff like that. And then this one, Cheesemaking Home by Ricky Carroll. I love her company. I buy a lot of my cheese supplies from her company. I probably would say this book is more for beginner cheesemakers. It'll help you get started, but it's not one that I go to all the time. Alright, American farmstead cheese. I must not have the brain for it, but it's kind of like if you were good at biology and chemistry in school, you might like this book. It doesn't have a lot of pictures, and it's all in black and white, so I found it to be a little difficult to follow. I did not like this book, so I'll just leave it with that. Cheesemonger. The Cheese Nun. This is an awesome DVD. I totally would recommend getting this if it's in your budget. That is a great story. And then also, this series here will really encourage you and inspire you to make a lot of fancy cheeses with natural rinds, blooming rinds, smeared cheeses, all kinds of like that. It's called Cheese Slice, and it's with Will Studd, and it's a series. I think of 5 videos. Awesome, awesome series. And then the other books are Cheese and Culture by Paul Kinstedt. And this is very similar to his other book that he did, American Farmstead Cheese. I don't really quite have the patience to follow it, but you might. The Joy of Cheesemaking. I don't know. I would say probably pass on that. And unless you're really not that interested in making cheese, you just kind of want a little bit of information and you're not real serious about mastering cheese, then that's your book. And then the other one is The Cheesemakers Apprentice by Sasha Davies and David Bleckman. And I would say these 2 books are in the same category. They're kind of like, they're good coffee table books because they tell you a little bit about cheesemaking, but they're probably not as in-depth as you need to really master cheese. I would say go with this stack over here. Alright, now these 2 books are very interesting. I haven't figured them all out yet. They are all black and white, and all the recipes are for industrial, commercial, big batches of cheese. But they give you, once you master like the basics, you're going to want to know a little bit more. And so these kind of books tell you a lot, more than I can understand. So I'm still working on these 2. Alright, say bye, Isabella. Say, we like making cheese. You like eating cheese. Which books do you? Yeah, which books do you like? You like all of them.